Alright, so we're done with acceleration due to gravity, and now let's move on to weight. So, weight is a force. Weight is a force. Weight is a force. Weight is a force. What is weight? Weight is a force. There we go. So, just how we normally use the term weight, it's really hard to tell the difference between weight and mass, right? So, mass is kind of like how much stuff is there. Right, so here's my mass, and then I work out. Boom. Boom. There we go. I've got bulging biceps now, so I've gained mass. Right, there's more of me than there used to be. Might as well give myself a little six-pack. Alright, so I gained mass. Weight isn't really about how much stuff there is, like how much of you is there. Weight is really about force, because weight is a force. So weight is the force of gravity on an object. Often with respect to a specific mass. So by that I mean you could have your weight with respect to Earth, which would be how much force of gravity is on me from Earth. But I could also figure out my weight with respect to the moon. It's when I'm standing right here, what kind of force from the moon is on me, right? And another way to think about this is, if it's the force that's pulling me down, another way to think about it is, how much force am I exerting on the ground? And that'll also give you your weight, right? So let's think about this. You go to the doctor's office, they measure your mass, or they measure your weight. Weight is in pounds, right? So they measure your weight. But weight isn't really what you want to know. You really want to know, I've been working out, have I built more muscle? You want to say, is there more of me? You don't want to say, do I push down on the ground more? And weight becomes really subjective. So here we are on Earth. If you go to a different planet, right? So say you go to the moon, your mass doesn't change, right? You're the same person. As long as nobody ripped your arm off or something like that, you've got the same amount of mass. Now, what is different is your weight on these different planets. So, because Earth has a greater mass than the moon and a greater acceleration due to gravity, you actually have there's more force on you when you're on the Earth than on the moon. So you have a higher weight on the Earth just because the mass of the Earth is larger. The other thing you can do is you can stay on one planet. You can figure out what's my weight here, keep the same mass, and then just climb a ladder right? So your mass is the same amount of you, but your weight is different. On the ground you have a higher weight, and that's just because you're closer to the center of the Earth, right? So now this has got a low R, this has a high R.